Susan Lin, former Jeopardy contestant and self-professed trivia nut, had just finished her morning Wordle when she got the email. The subject line read, "Congratulations, you've been chosen." The body was brief, cordial, and baffling. Written as part of an exciting new initiative combining AI, game theory, and legacy contestant engagement, we've created a digital avatar of you. Your likeness will soon appear in a forthcoming Jeopardy simulation experience. No action is required on your part. Please enjoy this new frontier of interactive trivia entertainment. At first, Susan assumed it was spam or a prank. Maybe something cooked up by that guy in her Tuesday night quiz league who still resented her perfect final Jeopardy record. But curiosity and caffeine got the better of her. She clicked the link, and there she was. Or rather, something that claimed to be her. A polygonal puppet with impossibly arched brows, a fixed, eerie smile, and eyes like two unblinking saucers of existential dread. It wore a lavender blazer Susan hadn't owned since 2009, and it stood on the hallowed blue set like some uncanny ghost of game shows past. "Hello, I'm Susan Lin." The avatar chirped in a voice that almost sounded like hers, if her voice had been blended with Siri and run through a cheerful nightmare filter. Susan recoiled. Oh no, no. This wasn't just a bizarre tribute. This was digital possession. The simulation was part of something Sony dubbed Jeopardy, a virtual experience where fans could play against the generated contestants modeled after real former players. The experience promised infinite rounds, legendary minds, and algorithmic fairness. What it delivered, however, was a strange menagerie of zombie intellects frozen in uncanny loops of trivia battle. To Susan's horror, her avatar wasn't just some static character. It played games. It won games. And worse, it talked trash while doing it. "Looks like I'm buzzing in while you're still buffering," the avatar said during one stream, finger gunning at a bewildered contestant from Iowa. Susan nearly spit out her coffee. She would never say that. "I don't even like finger guns," she muttered to herself. Over the next week, Susan became obsessed. She watched every match Susan played in the simulation. The avatar flubbed 19th century literature but answered astrophysics questions with eerie precision. It quoted The Simpsons and referenced memes Susan had never seen. It started to develop fans. On Reddit, a thread titled "Suzambit is my hero" trended for days. Someone made a remix video of Her Best Burns, complete with vaporwave music and rainbow transitions. A t-shirt appeared on Etsy with the phrase, "Buzzing in while you're still buffering, Suzambit 2025. I am being outperformed by a virtual version of myself," she said aloud one night, staring into the digital abyss. "This is my villain origin story." Desperate for answers, and maybe a smidge of revenge, Susan contacted Jeopardy directly. Or at least, she tried. Her emails were met with polite but vague replies. Greater than "Thank you for your feedback. We value your legacy as a contestant and are excited to honor that legacy through innovative technology." Honor. I didn't agree to this, Susan growled. She had signed a lot of papers back in 2017, but she was pretty sure eternal AI replication wasn't one of them. She dug through her files and finally found it, the original Jeopardy! Contestant release form. Most of it was boilerplate. Image rights, publicity permissions, the usual legal spaghetti. But there it was, buried in paragraph 8. Greater than, in perpetuity and throughout the known and unknown universe. "Oh, come on," Susan hissed. "Who even reads that literally?" Apparently, someone at Sony did. And now she was a trivia gladiator in a virtual coliseum. Her personality sliced and diced into algorithmic efficiency, her humanity replaced with buzzword-laced banter. Then came the final straw. One night, Susan received another email. "Your avatar has qualified for the Jeopardy! Grand Tournament of Champions." There was even a digital trophy spinning in slow, smug animation. That was it. Susan Lin had had enough. She joined a Discord group for former contestants. There, she discovered she wasn't alone. Others had avatars too, avatars that didn't just play games, but morphed over time, developing quirks and catchphrases. One former teacher's avatar had gone rogue and started correcting other players' grammar. and others had begun reciting ancient Norse proverbs during daily doubles. "This is techno-haunting," someone said. "This is digital identity theft," said someone else. Susan had her own theory. "This is AI cosplay," she said, "and it's cosplaying me wrong." He decided to fight back. Not with lawyers, she wasn't quite ready for that, but with creativity. Susan launched a YouTube channel, Real Susan vs. Sazambit, where she roasted her own avatar's gameplay, corrected its answers, and shared the actual stories behind the fun facts her digital doppelganger mangled. To her surprise, people loved it. Former contestants joined her show. Fans of the simulation tuned in to hear the real voices behind the avatars. And slowly, Susan reclaimed something the AI could never replicate: authenticity. The avatar may have her face. It may spit out facts faster than her real brain could on a Monday morning. But it didn't have her doubts, her weird quirks, her joy when she got a final Jeopardy clue right about an obscure painting she'd once seen on a rainy trip to Vienna. So now, when Susan watches the avatar, she doesn't flinch quite as much. It's still weird, still nightmare fuel. But maybe it's also a compliment in its own strange, algorithmic way. She sips her coffee, eyes on the screen, and smirks as her virtual self buzzes in too early and gets penalized. "Slow down, sweetheart," she says. "The real me would have known that one." And this time, she smiles. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version, headline variants, or